In this video, we will learn about movement and locomotion. So these are two different words where movement involves movement of the body parts alone, like moving hand. On the contrary, locomotion is the locomotory motion of an entire organism from area A to area B. So in biological terms, if we see what is movement, it involves displacement of a body part just as up and down movement of our arm, forward and backward movement of our leg, so on. These movements are possible by the action of a special kind of body tissue, that is our muscular tissue. Now muscular tissue is made up of special cells, that is the muscle cells, muscle fibers, and they have the ability to contract and become shorter, or they can relax and they can come back to their original size. Because of this contraction and relaxation, they can pull the bone or release it. And they use a large amount of energy by breaking down the glucose molecule. Now single muscle fiber, if we take, this cannot generate energy for moving a body part. Thereby muscle fibers occur in bundles. So the muscles associated with the movement of bones and with the locomotion are formed of certain type of muscles known as striated muscle fibers. That means they have stripes when we see under the microscope. So why these muscle fibers are in bundle? So imagine a rope made up of many minute fibers. So one fiber cannot generate the energy. So entire rope has been made up of many such fibers. So similarly, muscle bundles are also made up of muscle fibers, and they are covered by a contractile sheath of connective tissue. Though a number of muscle bundles together form one organ, that is the muscle. Now each muscle has two ends. One is fixed end or the origin, and the other is the movable end. Now fixed end is the proximal broad end of the muscle. By this end, muscle originates and it is immovably attached to the immovable end of the bone. Now the second part is on the distal end of the muscle, and at this end the connective tissue sheath is drawn out into a tough structure, that is the tendon. Now this tendon is attached to the movable end of the bone. Now when the stimulation comes from the nervous system, the muscle fibers will contract, they become short and pull the bone at the movable end, depending on which joint we are talking. And they are able to move arm or leg as and when we want. So muscles can only contract or relax, they cannot elongate. Now if we see what is the functioning of the muscles. So when muscles contract, they become shorter and bring the structure closer to the body. When muscles relax, they return to their original size and push the organ to their original position. For example, up and down movement of our arm are controlled by two muscles, that is biceps and triceps. Now if we see how these two work. So this is a typical joint wherein we can see the bone, humerus bone, and there are two muscles attached to it. Here we have the bicep muscles attached to this end and triceps muscles on the lower end. Now biceps muscles are flexor muscles, triceps are extensor muscles. Now when I raise my hand, the biceps muscles on this end attached to the scapula part at the top and radius at the bottom have to contract, and this will make it shorter and fatter, pulling the arm up towards the scapula. Now this will be the movement, direction of the movement. So the arm bends. This action is called flexion, and biceps muscles are known as flexor muscles. And when I lower my arm, what will happen? The opposite muscles work, that is triceps muscles contract and the biceps muscles relax. It means triceps muscles become shorter and broader while biceps return to their original shape. Their strength lies in the muscle fiber. So now because of the triceps shortening, the arm becomes straight. This action is called as extension, and triceps muscles are known as extensor muscles. Now muscles always work in antagonistic way, that is in the opposite way. So the muscles which work in pair and produce opposing movements such as our biceps muscles and the triceps muscles are said to be antagonistic muscles, and their action is antagonistic action. Now biceps is a flexor muscle and it will help in flexing the arm at the joints towards the body. Triceps muscles extend or straighten the arm and hence they are extensor muscles. Now, the two muscles of the pair work simultaneously but they produce opposite action. When one contracts, that is, if the biceps muscle contracts, the triceps muscle has to relax. And the bones provide leverage for rapid contraction and relaxation of the muscles. It means bones and muscles work together to bring about movement and locomotion. Now, if we see what is locomotion. Locomotion is defined as the displacement of whole body of an organism from one place to another. In propelling the body forward, the retractor and extensor muscles play a major role. Now, example, the long bone of the hind limb acts as liver and joints acts as fulcrum of these livers. Now, when foot presses downward and backward against the ground, it produces equal and opposite force, which helps in lifting the leg by contraction of these retractor muscles. I hope this topic is clear to you. Thank you.